I want to do one last thing here. Reported yesterday that by Nick Kyprios that Tavares could has. I hate the way that this is framed. Tavares could have his captaincy stripped. Stripped means he did something wrong, and when Joe Thornton gave up his captaincy, I think it was to Patrick Marleau, or was it the other way around?
It's Thornton to Marleau.
Now you got me confused.
And they played, and it doesn't matter because they played really great before and they played really great after and almost won the cup a couple times, right? Got to game 6, just couldn't get it done. There is precedent for this happening, and I can remember specifically that when Doug Gilmour was traded, Wendell Clark was back on the Leafs that next season, and they gave the captaincy to Mats, and Wendell was there to hand him the jersey. And even though Wendell was an assistant captain, he wasn't the captain. There are precedents for handing things over. And I look at this, and I've said this for 2 years now. This is the face of the franchise. I think Auston Matthews is the emotional leader of this team now.
He's one of the faces of the league, let's be honest. He's in everything.
But it really matters. The captaincy matters to the team.
100%.
Right? It's like, are we like, oh my God, like Lowry's one of the faces of the Lowry is a
Kyle,
not Kyle Lowry.
Adam Lowry?
Adam Lowry from Winnipeg.
Oh, I thought you were
is the captain.
Okay.
But he's an emotional leader for that team. I think when you look at the way the Leafs played with Auston Matthews in the lineup versus without, especially in the playoffs, this team moves around Auston now.
Yes.
He is a man now. He's not a boy. And I feel like, and I have felt like for more than a year, that it's time. I do think, however, I want to caution people from going, John Tavares was stripped. This is a passing of the torch. John has played 6 great seasons in Toronto. He's been valuable in the playoffs. He's been a point-a-game guy or plus. And this is not... I think this is just the way things evolve. I don't see it as a negative against John Tavares.
It's the number. People can't see past the number. If John Tavares, here you go, Auston, and makes a big deal of passing the torch to him, I'll view it that way. And that's the way it should happen. If Tavares doesn't want that to happen, I'm going to view it the way Kipper framed it, which is he was stripped. But I don't think John is that kind of guy.
Kyprios, just so we're quoting him right, never said the word stripped.
No, other people.
Oh, it's just the headline?
The aggregator accounts are the ones that say
son of a gun!
Yeah,
how you get more clicks.
In the quote,
Kipper
he never said. He said contemplating taking the captaincy away from Tavares and putting it on Auston. Like which
is very literal.
Yeah, which is just describing the act of removing the captaincy. So he didn't imply that it would be a contentious situation.
So who the hell did?
The Twitter accounts that made it go viral.
I hate this.
Yeah.
So
navigating this stuff is so friggin' time consuming and hard.
It is, because you look at the aggregator account, which will pop up, and it's designed to get a lot of clicks. And then you go to the source material and you're like, oh, that's not what was said.
I'm so much more gun shy after the MLH stuff too.
Oh,
I'm just
listen. We all should be.
Okay, I need 3 different accounts of people I could literally text to confirm this news before I believe it.
And that's
because verification means nothing.
That's responsible. It's good.
Yeah.
But I look at this and I think it is time. Yeah. But I don't. I'm not a person that thinks, oh, John Tavares is bad. I think John Tavares signed a contract that we all knew. By the end of it, he would have slowed down a little bit. And a guy that's still scoring mid-70s in points, listen, is he overpaid by a couple mil? Sure.
Yeah.
But Chandler Stevenson, who I don't think has ever got to 70 points, just got like, what, 8.5 or whatever it was?
I don't think John Tavares is a bad player. I think he's a bad person.
Oh.
Sorry, no.
My goodness.
That's
funny.
Sometimes I just like to reset you. I like to reset everyone.
So when they talk about this, remember.
He's a great person. Stop it.
It is Auston Matthews' time to be the captain.
I agree.
This guy just signed a 5-year extension to be here. If not now, then when? You don't just wait until John's contract expires to give it to Auston to save John's feelings. That's not the NHL. Auston Matthews is the face of this franchise. He's the best player that's ever played here. End of story. It's time.
It also helps limit a distraction for this upcoming year
because you got
your captain doesn't have a contract.
Yeah. I think there'll be an extension there. If I'm not,
I kind of think you're right.
And I think why not? The Lightning were looking at going 8 times 3 with Stamkos or 8 times. I said if they got 8 times 4, I'm sure they would have got him. If you go super long term with John, and you keep that AAV down and go, John, listen, we want to keep you around, but we see you moving down, and potentially, I think John Tavres ultimately ends his career on the wing with some
100%.
defensive zone. Like, he'll still be a great face-off guy, but I don't think he's got the speed to keep up.
Yeah.
That is a $3 or $4 million winger in a $100 million cap world hurt you? No. And I like John Tavres. He's a good person. He's been a great captain.
I don't have a problem with him retiring a Leaf.
I don't either. I in fact hope it happens. And
Not at 11.
I look at this guy and I'm like, listen, this is the best captain we've had since Matt's left. He's one of two guys.
Low bar.
But I'm talking about assistant captains in that too. Right? This guy was a leader. There are parts about John that drive me a little nuts. Like, I looked at Jesse in game 3 when we were at the Boston thing, and he got ragdolled and didn't react and didn't. I'm like, it would be nice.
No one reacted for him.
But it would be nice if he showed some emotion sometimes. But that's not John.
Not in him, yeah.
And so
you can't take $11 million off the
But
list.
could you find a better person, a better citizen, a guy that, like, this guy really and truly has been a great captain, and I think you build on that. John was this as a captain. Auston understands, hey, this is what it takes to be the Leafs captain. Mm-hmm. I'm going to build on that even further. That's how you build a good culture. We wiped our culture out here.
Some people have been talking about, like, the difference between, like, why is Marner getting run out of town in trade scenarios and not Tavares? What am I supposed to do? Get mad at Tavares for being exactly what we expected him to be as this contract aged?
Yeah.
Like, here we are heading into year 7, and, like, is anyone shocked he's on?
No,
the
this
decline?
is exactly. But and how bad has the decline been?
No.
10 points? Is that the worst? The guy
Well,
went from 82 points to 75 points. Oh no!
He started at 47 goals, which set the
in
bar.
his prime.
I know. No. But what I'm saying, like, he had literally never scored 40 goals.
Because he played with Marner.
yeah. And then he played with Marner, and
47 goals.
Marner was like, "Here you go, John. Here you go, John. Here you go, John. Where's my contract? Here it is. Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to sign that."
John Tavres joined the Toronto Maple Leafs in the entirety of all of those years, he's 18th in goals scored amongst NHLers.
That's
not bad.
Not bad.
He's also almost a point a game. He's 0.95 points per game. 419 points in 440 games.
That's a great 419 Leaf points.
And let's be honest, if it hadn't have been for the half decade of flat cap, which happened because of the pandemic, contract probably looks fine. I look at this and I go, okay, it is time. But that doesn't denigrate John Tavres, and I still think he's going to be with the team long term.